So the craziest thing just happened. You know, in between maps, we take a little time here to kind of filter back in and like really hone it back in for another map. So we step out there in the parking lot, and I see Jordan Gilbert. You know, nothing's out there doing cartwheels. I can't for the life of me explain why. But, you know, nonetheless, I let the guy do whatever he wants. I've pretty much let him do it for years, so why start, like, trying to stop him now? You know what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah, it's really relevant that you bring that up because it's actually really irrelevant. We're going into Cbble here, and I think that Renegades have the edge. I'm going to actually pick Renegades here to win this one and make it completely irrelevant that they played, making it a 1-1 split so no team moves ahead in the standings.
Wow, that's insane. Well, you know what? I'm going to give my predictions now since you're the desk host. Look at me. I'm the analyst now. I'm going to say C9 on that momentum, kind of run away with it. Having Skadoodle here to play today also helps. Overall, though, Launders, what do you think?
Awesome. Back to you.
Outstanding. Well, you know what? I think it's more important that we kind of focus on what the actual result could possibly be. And with that, we're going to take a look at the Betway odds because it's been a while. And there you have it. Cloud9 going into this one, the favorite. That's just how it is. Would we have expected anything different after that last map?
Absolutely not.
Thank you so very much.
Cunning analysis brought to you in part by Launders.
The depth of the desk is picking up, almost to the point where we need to slow it down.
It's like we know it like the back of our hand.
Yes.
Yeah, and the front. And the whole hand.
So thank me, hand.
I thought we were going to turn into that milkshake song. Yeah, but anyway, look, I tell you what I want to do. I want to go ahead and bring in the commentators who were enjoying their little time to themselves before they got into the next match.
I just got back. I was cartwheeling. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it was the weirdest phenomenon. Anyway, so Blue, let's hear your take on this matchup because, you know, I personally want to know. So.
Do you?
Well, I wouldn't have asked otherwise, Blue, yes.
Well, Cloud9 are probably going to win, so there you go.
Outstanding. You know what? Just take it from there, Jordan. You're in control over there.
So as the picture-in-picture comes to me and as we take up the full screen, what happens in the background is something quite disturbing. Trace took off his shirt. The rest of the studio is now evacuated, and the stench has kind of emanated through the desk. So luckily we have a door on this section of the studio, and we're going to get excited to go into Cbble here.
Yeah, we're isolated. We're in the safe zone, so we're able to at least keep the broadcast going and without any further risk of injury.
So the map is going to be Cbble. Looks like we're going to be watching them pregame. This is probably where I can give my most in-depth analysis. Russ is going to be taking JKS down by the fountain there. And let's look to, I think they just both disappeared.
Well, yeah,
be going live
on 3, I believe.
Well, that was the most important part of the match.
Was it? I wasn't aware.
That sets the tone. And so does the bare ass on that statue that we just panned back. Chicken. It's what's for dinner.
I would hope so.
Actually, we had pulled pork out there.
We did have chicken, too.
Can we get pigs running around the map?
They would be a little more distracting than chickens, I hear.
That would be funny, though.
They'd just be large pink animals. I feel like they'd be.
Now, this is actually funny that Renegades is starting their pistol like this because the last 2 Cbble maps that Cloud9 have played, they've done a pistol that entails 2 people hiding in this exact corner. We're going to have Cloud9 taking what looks like B plat control over there. I see Tarek's on the stairs, so that leads me to believe that if he were to peek stairs soon, that number 6 over there on the T side, what is that? Automatic will be shifting back towards A. Tarek has not cleared, I can't tell yet on the radar, but he's hiding. I'm surprised he doesn't want to take a peek here, but I guess he's taking a bait shot from his teammate in Hut.
So as we do start to see Renegades moving and getting more and more control over here towards long, they even move in and grab suicide steps too. They have everything propped up, ready to go for a fast execute out on towards A. Very quiet, however. They haven't made any noise up until this point. It's essentially just been a very slow crawl up to the site, and now they're finally ready to explode out onto A. So here they go, and quickly, as soon as they hear any utility at all, Cloud9 are pretty much going to bite on this entirely. Not only just because of that, but also because Tarek pushed in and spotted this. Doesn't matter, though. Renegades tearing the entire defensive setup to shreds. It's already down to just 2 players from Cloud9, one of which is very far away, trying to work on a flank, and he's now going to explode out. Gets the 1 kill. Stewie's able to hold his own up in heaven here as he takes down Ustillo, and now is going to wrap over to the door. So him and Tarek can work together to retake now on a 2v3. This would be a 2v5 if they pull it off successfully, but they're unable to find anyone else. Renegades remaining very quiet, and now Tarek down on the ground. Stewie's able to move in, get some good damage on the 1 player, but falls to Nifty, who pushes over the shed to close out for the Renegades.
Tarek, so comfortable with that silence USP there. Definitely could have picked up a couple more frags there in an alternate universe. Ustillo, though, you know, it's good to see him not being affected by our comments because he is a solid player, and I hope he didn't hear those and get mad at me last map. And also, you know, one thing I will note is you never know what kind of comms people got, right? So I saw some people saying I might have been too harsh, but, you know, it was my perspective, and you do got to be aware of the alternative. But RNG throwing the fast B smokes at Cloud9 ourselves through.
going to try to burst out onto the site very quickly, but Tarek just destroys Ustillo. Gets the mid-air shot onto him. They'll quickly take back the advantage after that, though, with both Azza and Nifty picking up some quick frags through the plant, also following that up pretty smoothly, too. But Skadoodle's going to move in. Doesn't stop the plant, but he does get another kill. However, he's unable to find a safe position and goes down a moment later. But we have more players coming in for Cloud9. In fact, Naf now getting dinked down to 30 HP. Very low, but Automatic tries to go for that defuse just a little bit too soon, and that will give the round to Naf.
Well, a lot of situations just now in that round that could have sent that either way. Tarek's first shot here. Let's see this. Boom.
Oh, right through the corner, too.
That was impressive. Good play by Azur, though, right after this pick to progress fast. Very good fundamentals by him to kind of create that space for his team. If no one else takes the fight and they all get scared, just fight Tarek. That could end up like Ustillo. But 2-0 here now for Renegades.
And Naf gonna waste no time diving in towards drop there. It's not just him either. He's got two other teammates working with him, and they're just going for the quick cleanup on this round. They didn't realize Stewie was sitting right over there by statue for some reason at first, so he gets away with one free kill. However, that should be the end of it. Just Automatic left alive now, trying to flank from Cat, and actually he's gonna diverge over towards drop instead. But he's gonna be spotted there, eliminated by Naf, and that will be the strong 3-0 start from the Renegades. A little bit dodgy on the second round, being brought down to only one player, but they correct that nicely on the third round, only losing one of their own. And so as such, they should have a lot of SMGs actually going into this first gun round, so it is going to turn into a bit of a bonus round for them.
So, C9 all on rifles here. I'm curious to see how that's going to affect their A setup. A lot of times it revolves around Tyler, a.k.a. Skadoodle, holding strong mid alone. Seems like they are going to still do somewhat of a similar setup. Tim's going to throw that Molotov, though, to try to scare Renegades early, but it's not going to matter as they send 4 through the A-halls fast, and they're just plowing through. Tim is going to be boosted on the wall, though. He's going to hear all of this. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Cloud9 rotate one more over or take B-plat control at least right now due to the massive amount of sound they made. But Azur's going to be over there towards B, trying to keep C9 from assuming that no one's there. And now Renegades are just going to kick it into second gear. They do still have 4 smokes available, so can definitely smoke up everything at A. Now it's a matter of keeping the number game solid here and map control going.
Yep, and they're going to look to try and make some progress here on the A side as they now move in with the door smoke. Should cover things off nicely. They will have to get past this 2-man setup that's put forward, however, and there's even going to be a third rotating and very slow follow-up, as I believe was heard. So, yep, Rush is going to be watching for him as he tries to come out windowsill at drop. That'll sound the alarms even more because he just headed directly towards A as soon as he jumped out of windowsill, so that made it very obvious about where this play might be heading towards, and that's going to cause even more rotations. Not a full commitment just yet. Actually, after quite a bit of delay, some of those players from Cloud9 go back, but once again, that'll change as soon as more utility is thrown out from long. Automatic has this great position, too. Just going to pick these players off one by one from up on top. So it'll actually help out in getting the third one, and then Rush closes out with the final kill there, making it a very clean first gun round win for Cloud9.
Yeah, as much as I, was a C9 fan, and I'm obviously still on C9, if you guys want to take down their A, the last, 5 times I've watched them play Cbble, Tim has been boosted up there, so I'm surprised. It's not like I'm giving away a hidden secret. You could find this out by watching. But even then, Tim is one of the better A players I've played with on Cbble. Very good timing, very good awareness, and showing it there. Taking down a big 2.5 kills. Renegade's going to switch things up a bit, going with a more little default approach, spreading the map a little bit more. And Nifty.
Quick swing down to be able to find Stewie as he tries to push Broken. So goodbye to Stewie early on. Only the start, however. Renegades still having to make a lot of ground clear in order for them to win this round here and take back the advantage. And they'll be doing it in a very slow fashion here, not really trying to take any sort of map control early on. They won't even really move in towards drop just yet, just holding out towards platform, watching to make sure Cloud9 don't do anything hyper-aggressive again. And they'll now start pushing in, I believe, towards the mid-connector here to try to make some progress. And one player on the CT side looks like Automatic. They try to push inside, but he's going to be punished and forced back out again through the smoke. Returns it with a little bit of nade damage, nothing significant, however.
That's a useless molly right there. Even if you push him out of that corner, it does hit him. The smoke is still up. There's a good chance he won't trade it because he also hears the molly coming. Good flash there by Skadoodle Automatic to take down 1 kill.
However, he's not able to escape. He's still always going to trade that out just a moment later. keeps it in the advantage of the Renegades, but only by 1 player here, so there's still a great opportunity for Cloud9 to shut it down, especially if they can realize this is going to be an A hit quickly enough and rotate, which I believe they're doing now. Tarek was able to go up on Broken, spot nothing there. Cbble going to continue the fight. He gets a nice double kill here at the door, uses the entire clip. There is going to be 1 more player inside of the connector, but now Ystillo starts the entry back over here A-Long, and there's a whole new thing to worry about here. Tarek, however, with the killing of Ystillo, brings us down to a 1v1, and it's Naf looking to clutch for the T side. He spotted his opponent going behind the APC, but he's only got 6 seconds to get this kill. He's got to try to play it forward here. Wraps around 3, 2, 1, and Tarek realized he could take this to the timer, so that's exactly what he'll do. He does die after the timer expires, however, and that will give the round to Cloud9.
Tyler with the big 2K bottom mid here to lead them to come back from this deficit of 4 versus 3. It's kind of interesting that they knew a pop flash came bottom mid, and then they still didn't really clear bottom mid with any decisive. It's not really a bait peek. And at the end there, Naf definitely trying to play smart and keep the depth to the angle, but you have 7 seconds left to work with, brother. You have to chase him down next time if you wanted to win that round. Either way, 3-2 here.
And so now the Renegades look over here towards platform again to try and go for a quick push out on towards B. There is going to be 1 player aggressively postured up here, and that'll be Tarek running in the cubby. The other 4 are either going to be split up amongst B or, in Skidoodle's case, pushed out towards A-Long here. But I think he's all the way out, actually pushing all the way to the outside courtyard there. So you should be able to see that there's essentially 0 presence established by the Renegades. So should be able to give credence to this 4-man stack. So we do see the T's getting ready to go out now, but it's just after a molly was thrown in, and they're going to get jumbled up big time. Now Tarek can swing in, gets 2 kills before going down. It's actually less than I was expecting, but...
That's actually... I really love Tarek's positioning on the plat. I guess Stu thought he can get away with that because he has the molly, and if they run through it, they're kind of running into a brick wall. But that's a good kill by Naf to only let 2 survive here. It's going to help the economy situation as they get deeper into the half. If you could take down 1 more, that's even sweeter. Not necessarily needing a roundwood here to have a good T side, but would obviously be phenomenal.
Does not see Skidoodle hiding in a corner by door, however, so he sneaks off the last kill, taking down Naf, and it goes to Cloud9, tying it up at 3-3 again.
Tarek, you know, I'm actually going to blame this one on Stewie a little bit, which is ironic because this used to be me and Stewie holding this situation, and if I would have done what he just did and he was Tarek, he would have yelled at me. So I think it's funny to be in the analyst position and to be able to give Stewie a little crap. But at the same time, he did cover his bases. He threw them all. It's not like he dry peeked. So all love to C9 there as they still close out the round.
Indeed they do, and now we'll look to try and take the lead away, more importantly for the Renegades here. The Renegades' Opera Nifty tries to move in for a quick shot at A-Long, and not going to find it.
Jeez.
Perfect timing on that shot, just takes Tarek out of the air as he tries to jump back down steps.
Nice shot there by Naf onto Tarek, and I was actually about to give Naf Nifty a little credit because I like the fight he took A-Hall, but I do not like that. You still, I love you, man.
Just jumps directly into that, however, and Skidoodle continuing to line up for more kills. He'll finally go down to Nifty, but Automatic's also fragging down below in the mid-connector. It's brought the Renegades down to just 2 players now. One's behind this smoke, too. Nifty doesn't seem to care too much about the molly, though he's going to run right out, and he catches Automatic with his back turn. So it's a free kill for him to be able to find that. Now looking for more as they continue the action. Getting up towards this A-bomb site here, but they still have to clear that out. They're still rushed, but he's in a very predictable position, so that actually should be pretty easy to deal with as long as they both push it at the same time. Another player to live. Stewie is going to be waiting on the other side. The pop flash comes in, really just buying more time. These guys continue to push forward, but Rush actually holds initially, but he'll be traded out by Nifty. Nifty now needs to look for this final kill, though, and he looks towards Heaven, exactly where Stewie was headed towards, so Stewie might have made a little bit of noise to give that away. However, without actually seeing the peak, he does get a little bit worried of a lower peak. We'll go back to check for this now, and actually goes in and fully clears the shed too. So really trying to figure out where this last man is hidden, and he does have the time to play with this as long as he doesn't go back into the A site. Now in peeking this though, he's been spotted. Well, with 20 seconds left, he can still make a run over to the B site and plant here instead, which is going to make Stewie a little bit more uncomfortable. However, in taking that duel before, he's had to sacrifice more HP and only has a 3rd to play with against Stewie here. So Stewie just 1 or 2 bullets, he can win it out. The molly's going to help it even more. He actually goes through the molly aggressively, hoping he would be here, but won't find him. Stewie is able to just hold in his position, easily close out on the 1v1.
How did he just do? He's to his left right there. What? Nifty showing a lot of skill lately, a lot of poise as an operator, and I've actually liked him. I don't think he needs to change much of what he's doing. That clutch is not really indicative of any of that. That was more just funny. He didn't notice the guy on the left. You know, right here, you know what I want to think about Ystillo is, because I've played against him a lot and I see him do this a lot, I actually think he has the opportunity to provide a lot of value to his team. Ystillo is not scared of anything. He has a good understanding that he does need to get up there and you know, bait for his team. He just has, you know, maybe a couple more things on his checklist he needs to check off before he makes those plays. You know, take a quick gander at his radar, see if his team is ready to trade, because I like the thought there, because if his team's closer, they trade Cbble and he doesn't get 2. But by literally going a little too early, he gets 2, and that round then comes down to 1-on-1. Could have been a 2-on-1, could have been a round win. So those details matter so much at this level.
It's going to be a quick execute on this round for the Renegades, as they do also go for that very fast smoke setup outside. 1-to-1 trade to start it off. As they move in there, they catch Cbble, still quick switching weapons, so he's going to go down. Trying to bring his op back out. One more trade from Tarek, but Renegades still have the advantage here. 3v2 now, and Stewie just trying to hold on to the platform, but only with an MP9 to his name. It's not looking so good. He'll be knocked out by Azza, and it's the Renegades that strike back once again, keeping this game close at a 4-to-4 scoreline.
Yeah, if I know that was going to happen and I'm on Renegades, then I'm all fine losing that last round. Comes down to a 1-versus-1, and you win the force by right there, hurting C9's money, forcing them into what looks like would be a double save. So they're going to buy right now because they have a double save regardless. See if they can kind of take that money situation back into their own hands at 4v4, 4-to-4.
And they're going to look to do that with just 3 CZs, a scout, and an ump sitting on Stewie here. So Renegades not going to be showing a whole lot of hesitation, as they should know they're on an eco. CZs will use one of their few bits of utility to smoke off Cat, and it's a good thing that they do that, since it looked like Renegades were going to be able to go for a pretty quick play early on here and not have been blocked. It looks like they are forced away because of that. And instead, we'll head back down outside of the courtyard towards mid and A long. And that's actually a bit of a danger zone now for Nifty, because he's going to be left alone here, potentially up against a 1v2 if he peeks this the wrong way. He's going to be very careful with the way he approaches this peek, as that could happen. And the player closer to this could really surprise him here. Moving in automatic, they can see his feet in the corner, so it's not as hidden as he thinks he is. And they also mop up Cbble pretty quickly too. So that's the priming for the A execute, which is now going to be pretty simple, since now Stewie's rotating back in, but he's going to be pretty out of position when these guys come into the site. Instead, just tries to play it out in the open, surprise them, but that does not work. JKS takes him down with no kills to his name, and these last 2 still stuck over by drop. Probably won't even be able to do that much.
That was smooth, Blue. You're a good caster.
Thanks, man.
I like that.
Appreciate it.
Great play there by Renegades. I see how much of a difference it makes when they stay tight and they go for those trades they haul. Obviously, a little bit lucky that they caught, I don't know if that was Tim or Tyler looking into the wall there.
It's automatic, I think.
Automatic, so. But all of that aside, Renegades stuck together, and they're winning this together, losing no numbers, which is big for the money situation. There's no reason for them to hunt much right now. C9 doesn't have anything special, and they're going to be having to save anyways next round. Obviously, a moderate hunt as a group is all right, clearing maybe outside the T side of middle, but even then they look apprehensive, which is just fine.
So these last 2, again, just saving what minimal gunpowder they bring to the table, since they are going on to a save in the next round. And it should be a full save after this here. Renegades taking the lead away from Cloud9 here, and putting them onto a full eco for this round before they can fully reinvest on the 11th round.
So Cloud9 here has 1 scout on a Tarek. You know, on Cbble, that's one of the reasons I think a lot of people don't like Cbble so much, is it's so hard to really like pop flash and catch someone off guard on this map. You know, on maps like Cash, you might be able to pop flash B main or A main, but what do you flash on Cbble? You could do an A hall push and flash over. You could flash B plat, but the teams can just literally be in the back. So Naf could stay back here, and even if he gets blind, just fall behind. I'm at A. All those guys holding right here, Ustillo, for instance, could stay back and not get killed even if he gets blind, but he's going to progress up with a couple teammates, it looks like, and hopefully methodically take A hall. As a fan of fundamental Counter-Strike, that's what I'm thinking.
So it looks like that is what they're going to go for here now as they move in for the A-long clear. Peeking out, they're not going to catch the guy immediately to the right, but are they going to check here? Oh, what? They don't see him. He gets that first kill. Stewie's. Oh, no, he still does catch him a second later. They just didn't fully check it, so he wanted to make sure.
This is still OS. That's what I'm saying. He needs to channel these energies, because he's got great aim and he's got great explosive power. But there's a certain level of, you know, firepower that doesn't matter at a pro level if you can't do the right things. So right here, obviously showing his ability to just hit a shot midair. You know, as impressive as it is at this level, that's really just semantics. He got a triple kill, however you killed him, whatever. The most important thing to me is how the team is playing off each other. Now on gun rounds, they haven't been showing consistent fundamental excellence, and I think that should be Renegades' goal. A lot of great ideas on Renegades, and you know, obviously hindsight's 20/20. But as someone who's played the game for a long time, seeing them make me mistakes. It only frustrates me because I want them to succeed. I want the highest level of Counter-Strike on both teams here from Cloud9 and Renegades. So this is not me trying to pick at anybody in particular.
So it is going to be Renegades probably going for drop control first. They've already thrown in one nade here. It looks like they're going to molly off the doorway here so they can try to take control. Down they're going to go. They don't mask it, so they should know that they have a player down here. Now Azur will be seen, or heard rather. And now as he attempts to go out, that's when the CT smoke comes in. He'll just post up in the corner and wait for that to fade. There's still plenty of time left here. We're only just now approaching the minute mark, so that smoke's not going to be too much of a worry for the Renegades. It does allow for the CTs to reposition here, but actually they're going to try and challenge that a little bit. We can see the team boost up, and they're moving it too over here towards the windowsill so they can safely check. They're not going to find anyone, however. The only one nearby is going to be automatic, and actually him sitting around the pole might go unnoticed. Yeah, he gets away with the first kill, traded out by Ustillo, so keeps it in a 4v4. Really, however, what you'll note is that this is all for just a fake, as they're going to be coming up the ramp towards the A site instead. JKS gets the instant kill into Skedoodle there. So Renegades establish an advantage, and they get full A control here. Cloud9 completely boxed out. They still have to deal with a player inside of the Heaven hallway, too, so he's actually going to back away now, so that's actually no longer an issue. However, still, being outmanned, they don't have any post-plant information about where they might be hiding at in this site, and I'm imagining utility's not looking that great either for the CT side. So they're just going to actually call this one off and save it, as they know that they're not really going to be able to confidently retake that site. And that will put Renegades up to 7-4.
This is the problem I have with Cbble is, you know, as much as Renegades deserve to be in this situation, it's so hard on CT side if you don't have a lot of utility or an op. There's definitely ways to win the round. Drop boosts, you know, just playing together and getting those trades, using utility at the right time. If you do have like an SMG and a little bit of utility, you could still do a lot with it on this map.
It just seems like some strats, if they work, are like an instant win, like you see there. Like there's very little chance for the CTs to be able to retake that situation on that site. So you see that save happening like at least 2 or 3 times per match, every time you go to this map, it seems.
7-4. This is C9 pause. I don't know. What's your take on things?
On things?
On things. Well, because, I don't know. If you think, if this match in particular, do you think Renegades is going to be able to close this out? Do you think they're going to be able to double digits?
I think they have a lot of weaknesses on CT side that's going to show up more so. So I think it's more about establishing a good lead here. Like, they definitely want to try to push this to 11-4 if they can help it. Because I think that their T side is a lot stronger than their CT side.
Yeah, that's kind of my worry, too, because T side is where you can kind of control the pace more. They do have good money on Renegades, 3 players over 10 grand. So that's good. C9 here trying to make the most out of not very good economic situation, so.
We'll jump into this round here now, and it's actually going to be very split up for Cloud9. They have a 3-man commitment over at A long because they are on this kind of an odd buy here, the 2 M4s. And 2 CZs as well that are just being saved here, obviously, as they're going to look to light buy for this round. Or at least with the 2 ops being, or excuse me, the 2 M4s that are being brought over from the last round, they still have that little bit of firepower to play with. And Renegades just continue to play very, very slowly as they just look for a quick way to set themselves up. At the moment, definitely favoring another B take. But if things go poorly on the execute, that could change once again, too. JKS even holding outside here. So if that A push tries to make its way out into the courtyard, JKS will be in a good position to punish that.
This is, you know, pretty standard here. SK does this a lot, and JKS taking this initiative. I really love this. It's not always necessary, but the fact that he's reading them like this is going to net Renegades this round. I'm almost positive unless something happens crazy.
He's able to spot Skedoodle there, too. That's just going to force him further back towards the little alley there. And in the meanwhile, the drop player is still looking for that second kill to get them out onto the site. They find Stewie attempting to flank them in B halls, so that opens up that opportunity. I think they realize as well that there's really only going to be 1 more player left on the site, and they have him under control. So better to just rotate the players over with all the time they have left than to risk it on a BX here where they don't have the best amount of intel, and they can just let Azur lurk around the site and try to clean up shop, as they have now brought it down to 1 player. And really only like 2 or 3 people have even just had to fight in this round. Everybody else has just been able to walk around scot-free, not even having to see any of the CTs. So very clean round from the Renegades here as they prevent these saves from the last round on Cloud9 from really having any effectiveness at all.
Gonna try to hunt Tarek now. I think Azur might be able to see his head if he hops up on the ledge of Fountain. If not, he will get caught off guard. Still might be the first victim for the Turkish fella Tarek here. Let's see what he's got.
Double peeked, actually.
Oh.
Oh, feels bad.
That feels bad, man, for sure. Cloud9's economic situation, though, not so bad as they finally are all around the same amount. You know, and now their goal here is to try to get it back to 6. If I'm on C9, let's get 6, boys, right here. We could throw away one more gimmick round maybe, but 9-6 here is totally a great half for Cloud9. Let's see if they have it in them.
Double op setup now being established here, too, on the Stewie and Skadoodle. 3 M4s with the full utility across the board here, so they definitely have what they need to stop these pushes from Renegades from being so successful. But it's been working, so they'll go back to it once again. A straight B push, and this time it's very, very fast from the Renegades. They move right out, they kill Tarek instantly. Rush on Sidewalk, though, is going to be able to trade, and so does Stewie from further back. Rush looks for one more kill. He gets very close to it as well, but is unable to take down Ustillo, who he survives with 5 HP, and Nifty takes out another player here. Skadoodle trying to creep into the site, trying to punish any additional pushes from Sidewalk. I think he missed the Q on him actually moving out. No, he's still behind the smoke. No commitment.
And this is where Ustillo's kind of aggressive play can net him some big round-winning kills. If he continues walking, I think he's going to find Skadoodle on the side of the head here in a second as everything kind of comes together. Oh, whoop, now Tyler's aware. And it is still going to net him the kill, but it might have not. That's kind of the polarizing effect of a playstyle like Ustillo's. Is it sometimes it comes down to Lady Luck and what happens in the context of the round. Man, it'd be an interesting thing to be the coach. Kassad, you have a tall and interesting order with Renegades because there's actually a lot of skill. Azur and JKS have world-class rifles. Nifty's proven himself to be a lot more than expected in the op department. Naf is a super well-rounded, solid fundamental player, and Ustillo has the ability to become a Taco-esque player, create a lot of space for his team, and create a lot of openings with vicious aim. I would probably start modeling some things after SK and trying to get some of their fundamentals if I was Kassad, because you have a similar makeup of players. The op strat caller, the vicious riflers. You got JKS, kind of a cold Zera. AZR is kind of the fur. Ustillo over here kind of being a taco. And Naf would be more of the Phelps, although he's not as aggressive. But think about it, Kassad. Just think about it.
They would definitely benefit from taking something like that to a LAN play, because every time they've ended up going to LAN, they've had a pretty unfortunate showing there, and usually end up going out pretty early.
You can't call these guys online. It's nothing to do. It doesn't seem like that.
They have good performances on LAN. It's just the team coordination seems to really fall apart when they get to LAN for some reason. So as we continue the fight here now, Renegades already moving in and getting drop control for themselves. They take down Skadoodle in the process too. The rest of the team is a little bit slow actually to move out towards platform 1 out there. A little bit scared to push out there, despite this being another just kind of half-bot round for Cloud9. See Azur going out. He actually misses the Q on the one player that snuck away towards Statue, but they correct that pretty quickly. Again, without losing any of their own players, which is the important thing here, especially as we're getting into the last round to make sure that the economy stays strong for that final buy. These last two players on Cloud9, again, really not given much in the way of options to retake this site. One is a CZ, one is a scout with no armor. So they're essentially just fighting against the current here. And in the second, Renegades should be able to either take them down or we'll see the save call come out. But it looks like both of them are going to end up dying. And that will be Renegades getting into double digits here right before we hop into the last round of the half.
Decent buy at the end here for Cloud9. They absolutely need this last round. That's 7 rounds in a row for Renegades, and they're looking to make it 8 here because I still believe Cloud9 has a good chance to take this. You know, if it goes 10-5 here and you get pistol round, and then a gun round, you're pretty much back in it. So the score can be deceiving in Counter-Strike, and
looks like Cloud9 going to try a counter boost here, and it works out well for them. Stewie is able to go up on top there, knocking out Azur when he goes for the cross. So right off the bat, they restore themselves quite well here and are looking strong. Maybe find that 5th round. Still a long way to go in this round, however, but Stewie having moved back. He sees the shoulder peek there from Naf, but I think Naf knows he's been seen too. He'll fall back instead of re-peeking that and group up with the rest of his team before they go out again.
Good adjustment by Stewie there to move, knowing that that smoke could potentially be used to give him a one-way, and that's what they're going to do for Nifty. And Nifty, I think Nifty's not going to find anything here because Stewie's adjustment, and they're going to have to waste another smoke here to sell B. And only have, well, they still have 2 smokes, I guess, left to go A. And see, the problem here is now when you fall back like that, Tarek should be able to clear the stairs, and they're going to have 3 players at A. This looks like it's going to be a 10-5 for Cloud9 unless something crazy happens.
Tarek over to those steps now. He hasn't pushed all the way up as the smoke is still there, but he probably will go for the check pretty soon. Naf sitting in the corner won't be spotted unless they go fully deep inside to look for that. Which means he could cause some havoc on the rotate here as Renegades are now getting ready to commit. Oh, it's a great flash on the CTs too, but he's only able to get one kill with it. Cbble makes it a second though and drops the bomb too, which is going to sell the rotates. There's them not checking that corner though, and that's where Naf is able to get at least one kill. Cbble had unfortunate timing on the switch, but Rush is there too, watching out for ramp. So that drops the attempt to pick up the bomb and now puts Naf into a 1v3 scenario. He's essentially up against the world here and will be taken down by Rush there, who is hiding in mid-connector anyway. So Cloud9 show up with at least one more round towards the end, breaking that 7-round streak. It is still a dominant hold, though, from the guys in the Renegades. We'll have to see if they can keep it together. They'll be jumping on the CT side in just a few moments, but that'll be coming up after this, so stick with us, guys.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
So for the last time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL Pro League as we're jumping into the second half of our last match here as Cloud9 takes on the Renegades here on Cobblestone. It is actually the Renegades that hold the advantage this time. It's 10-5, but now they jump onto the CT side, which generally tends to be the weaker side for them on this map. So it's a little worrisome, as you were mentioning before we went to the break. One pistol round win for Cloud9 in the first gun round, and it's 9-10 all of a sudden.
Yeah, you know, luckily for Renegades, I have seen what Azure can do in the drop zone pizza area. We call it, you know, the little cubby outside drop.
Yeah.
I've seen him do some pretty nasty stuff with the rifle there. Nifty's a great opper. He could play the fountain. He could play A really well. I've seen him dance before, and he could definitely do the Macarena and the salsa. So
I'm, dance.
You know, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they bring to the CT side, and if they are able to close it out, it's a good thing for them. So let's take a look at the match stats so far.
Two players from Renegades over 180 are both at 15 kills too. That's Cbble and Naf at 106 growth. And the highest for Cloud9 is Rush at 90, and he's got 10 kills as well. So a little bit low on the kill count actually for quite a few players. Apparently Automatic also going down there in every single round in the first half, even the ones that Cloud9 won. So a little bit rough for him there as he's also pretty low on the ADR. A lot of the players are actually.
Yeah, these kind of stats, pretty spot on. Could be deceiving, right? Depending on the kills mid-game. You know, guys, we always urge you out there to look deeper than just the kills and deaths. But
for the impact kills, too.
For the impact kills, for, you know, people dying for their teammates, that kind of thing. Regardless, it is 10-5. And we're going into the second half of this game.
Indeed we are, and Cloud9 starting off their first half on T, starting off their second half on T side here now. They're going to go very quickly for mid-connector control, get themselves into the site, but JKS is already able to find one of them from up on top of ramp here. Takes down Stewie. There's going to be a flank work against them too, and I'm not sure if they realize this yet. No, Nifty's going to walk right in, gets one. I don't even know if they realized it came from behind them. No, they did realize that, but they're still getting torn to pieces one by one. Azure knocks out Automatic most recently, and it's down to just Cbble and Rush. Now they did dink both JKS and Nifty to bring them down very low, so that's the one saving grace, is those two guys are one-shottable.
Yeah, the high HP guys just got to make sure they don't die without a trade right here. It's good to see the two guys from Renegades at the bottom mid waiting for each other. A Nifty here. Be careful, Betty.
Rush is waiting, sitting in that corner here too. Azur's able to take down one, however, now it's just on Rush. Takes down one of the low HP players, looking for the second now. He's going to be overwhelmed in a second. There's nothing he can do. And with his elimination, that will give it over to the Renegades. They keep their lead going strong, and they go up 11-5 to start off the second half.
Good shots there by JKS and Azur to open up the round and put him in that advantageous situation there. Good job by Nifty and the boys on the flank as well to not get too much in a hurry. Common problem you see there. Guys far from the site think that they're safe, but there's always that guy to worry about bottom mid. So good play by them there. And make the lead up to 6-round deficit.
I do have to avoid getting upset on the third round. However, Cloud9 did get the plant there, so I believe they're just going to wait for that instead of buying up here. Just upgraded pistols. No utility being bought into the second round either, so not going to be able to find that easy route for the second plant. They will have to try to get themselves together and add onto the site if they would like that secondary plant.
So I got a question for you on these kind of rounds. What if you can't buy anything? What do you like to do, Blue? Like, if you have nothing, what is your second round goal? My generally one is to go, it's kind of what Cloud9 is doing, go as slow as you can, let the CTs waste nades, right?
Yeah.
I just got news from production that Blue is silver 4 and his
actually
input is obsolete.
Completely incorrect.
Silver 3?
No, that's not right either. I've been working on it. It's been growing. It's
You want to do Road to Global with me? I've been doing that series.
I'd be down,
I'm MG2 now.
I need to get my rank up higher, so.
People lose their mind because my first rank up video, I got Gold Nova Master, and I was like, whoa, yeah! And people were like, nothing's Gold Nova. And I was like, yeah, dude. I'm sick. So, Blue, what is your actual rank?
I think it's GN 2 or 3 right now. I think I got it up to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
it's because up until like a week ago, I was like barely playing MM, so.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that was my struggle. I was Gold Nova Master for a little bit there.
I think the highest I ever got to was it was AK2. I don't know the exact names, but.
Well, the thing got harder, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a lot harder to rank up now.
When I first was in Matchmake, I was Global Elite within like literally 10 games. I got.
Well, that must be nice.
No, well, that's totally a messed up elo system, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Like, you shouldn't be able to do much unless you literally don't die. So.
Yeah, I came in fresh in CS:GO, so I don't have any experience from any of the previous.
Well, if it means anything, your rank is not indicative of your knowledge, so that's good to see.
Some people would disagree with that.
Well, you know, there's always a couple haters out there, Blue. You just gotta not dab at them, but you gotta do something along those lines, right?
Yeah, I get you. Well, we're getting into the first gun run for Cloud9, and it's an aggressive push for the Renegades. That actually works out well for them. They're able to, I think they boosted up on top of the box at the edge of Cat here, and were able to take down Skadoodle from up on top. Didn't have vision as far as I could tell, but at the very least were able to spam through it and find Skadoodle early on here, so they get that nice 5v4 advantage to play off of.
Azur with the cheeky play, he's trying to kind of surprise somebody using the right side of the lip here to avoid his head, because it could be seen if he was scooted to the left a little bit. And just going to intermittently check, might get jump spotted by whoever that is. I don't know if that, it looks like Rush. And then Tarek. They seem aware that another guy's on plat, but they don't quite have the nades to use it. As Stewie's coming back with the Molotov, he will be able to Molotov the cave and force Naf to fight, but he smoked himself off. So Automatic's out, but he's going to try to stay alive in the smoke.
Naf hasn't been seen just yet either. They have to be very, very close to each other now. And as it fades away, Automatic will spam into it. They're able to find him. They get a second kill too. Azur, however, keeps the dream alive for the Renegades, but it might not be for too long. However, with that extra kill from JKS, that has almost secured it. Tarek is now going to look to clutch 1v2. Walks through to make sure no one's going to try to quickly come in through the door and, more importantly, get to the rock position. They won't be finding that there. And actually, he's going to be playing with the time a little bit. He's only got 15 seconds left to plant. I thought for a second he was going to try to make a run, but decided not to. Just throws the smoke on the ground so he can plant inside of it. And we'll go for that. Brought down so low, though, and he's not going to be able to escape, but at least he gets the plant, so it gives his team the extra money.
Nice try there by Tarek. I was thinking it would have been interesting. What if he drops the double door smoke as he walks through it, right? Because normally people are like, oh, you smoke double core, you're crossing deep into sight. Probably gives them the illusion that he's crossing deep, and then all of a sudden, he's A. But didn't have enough time is what he thought. I think he had 14 seconds when he was around by the door.
Yeah.
So, you might have been able to make it, but he would have had to sprint the whole way, and they would have been closing on him.
Probably.
Yeah, so similar result. At least he got the bomb down, and C9 will be able to buy next round with a half buy coming in this round.
Yeah, they do actually get a decent amount of utility behind the buy as well. So smokes for every player, 3 mollies. They can mark something off of this, especially if they can get a first couple of kills to make the site a little bit more open here. But they're going to have to sit back a bit and wait See if Renegades get a tad over aggressive, and if they can punish someone. At this point, it would be Ustilla most of all. But they also might want to be cautious of players like Nifty, as he's playing around over there with the mid connector right now. If he pushes in too far, then the jig's going to be up, but looks like Cloud9 will execute way too quickly before that to even become an issue here. They're very quickly using all that utility to get onto the site, and unfortunately for them, it's being torn apart pretty quickly too. Apparently there was a team kill as JKS tries to save his teammate, but inadvertently kills him back over there in that little cubby at the edge. Bringing it down to 3, maybe 2 now with this nade bouncing, and bounces right into the pocket corner, knocking out Naf. The only Skadoodle alive in the 1v2. Gets that first kill, he can actually clutch this, but no, Azure denies it in the final 1v1 and puts Renegades up to 14 rounds.
Well, JKS with a team kill, but he's just trying to give C9 a chance here as the score goes up to 14-5, and they're going to lock that down like a jail in Cuba. So, is that a good line to drop? Because that could have been offensive. I'm not sure. Please, people realize that I had no harmful intentions there, and we are a country with freedom of speech. Anyways. 4 people towards A here early for Cloud9. I'm going to pretend I'm blue here for a second as JKS gets a smoke bottom mid. They're going to rotate 2 back into the hall, and it's a 4-person A side default. We see this commonly with SK here, and I'm going to try to practice my breath controls. I don't overwhelm you guys with the amount of talking that I do. This is me practicing. Tarek walking through A hall with AK in hand. Blue, how am I doing so far? The trade goes down with Nifty as Nifty's going to try to escape, but he's going to run into Stewie, who's actually ignoring him, so he can maybe find a gap through A, but Stewie's smart to know that the rotator could come in. JKS, last guy alive on the defense at A. Similar to the wall of archers, it is slowly collapsing. He's going to get 1 more kill on a rush. It's a 3 versus 3 situation. Only 1 smoke left on Cloud9. They're going to make sure everybody is ready before they smoke connector. Stewie calls for it as he crosses. 1 left in the bomb site. Stewie seems aware. This is where he shines. He's going to get this kill on a Naf and put in a 3 versus 2, and the round should be over as long as everyone is aware of the positions. Stewie left with a good ability to hear if the CTs are coming for it. He's going to be the person who is what we call the spotter in this situation. Everyone else is going to wait for Stewie's contact. They don't need to do much. They're hiding bottom mid in the site. It's going to be Renegades saving, comfortable with the 9-round lead, and we're going into the next round, Blue.
Yeah, so I guess I got to do the analysis then, right? Well, it was a good push from Cloud9.
Hey, feel comfortable. Feel confident there. Break it down. You remember.
The problem is I started that off like the worst possible line. They made it seem like I was going to do the most general analysis.
The T's killed the CTs and ended up with more numbers.
No, there was a good lurk in the A site there that we saw to be able to secure the last kill, and obviously, as you were mentioning too, once they get that kill, it's pretty much over. So they do a nice job of really slowing it down once they get to the site and making sure they don't get tripped up by that last man and buying more time, more importantly, for the B players to rotate. And if that guy in the A site's allowed to stay alive, getting even like 1 or 2 kills, it probably does get a little bit chaotic there towards the end, but they control it very nicely.
Exactly what I would say. Haste makes waste. Why not wait for each other to get the next taste? You know what I'm saying?
That's a nice rhyme there. I like that.
So. Something along the lines of bros before. Can't say the next part on stream. 14-6 here. The dream is still alive for Cloud9. But let's hope that's not too asinine.
And we'll start it with a slow walk here now. Down over towards A and long. Ustilla is going to be here ready to defend it. You'll note, however, how quickly Renegades get broken despite winning the first 5 rounds of this half. So Cloud9 very quickly breaking that economy down to just these 2 ops, of course, which you could say from the previous round. Azure is unfortunately going to stay alive for now and is able to actually move in for 1 more kill, but goes down after that. Naf tries to push in a little bit late there, so he's going to be taken down by automatic. JKS is seen out of the corner of his eye by Tarek too, so goodbye to him. No surprise kills coming out, and that round is pretty much over here. It's just down to Nifty, and he knows that volley's going to spread, so he just jump out trying to take the fight, but obviously with just a measly little USP, he won't get much done. Cloud9 secure is 7th, and well, they're halfway to the tie. Just a long way to go here.
The roof is on fire. Actually, it was the floor in that case.
Yeah.
Either way, Hot Potato had to jump out, and he is dead. 2 rounds in a row for Cloud9, mounting the comeback like a giant stallion that would be seen riding through a castle such as Cbble. Long way to go. Long ride. Long journey to W land.
I do like this nade stack that we have from Renegades, and they actually have everyone here. If they time this right, this definitely could lead to
Nifty's going to get contact.
a couple kills here. Nifty. Oh, he's looking away for it, though, so he doesn't get caught
Touchdown!
by it. Oh, it's too late to do massive damage. It does actually bring 1 player down low enough in order to get a kill, but I think that's still the pistol doing most of the work. Azure even gets a second with it, too, so Azure doing a good job of holding on his own, but now he'll be flanked out by the guy at drop, leaving only Naf alive. He's also got a P250 to play with here. If he would be able to find Tarek, then he could definitely kill him. I don't know if he's noticed him yet, though. And also, he'll have to deal with a drop player probably momentarily, too. Automatic still just sitting inside of there. They slow it down. They want to make sure that they don't lose anyone else here, as that's when things could get just a tad dangerous. However, with NAF not having anything to support this P250 buy, he will more than likely eventually end up going down like that as it gets flashed out. Automatic gets the final kill, and Cloud9 continue to push forward up to 8 rounds now.
Now the real test. Let's see. I'm curious to see what Cloud9's bread and butter will be this round. Cloud9, we at least, when I was on the team, we got pretty good at these situations coming back here, playing round to round. Cloud9, in my experience in this case, has 2 gears. We have the slow and methodical, and I mean, this is most team, right? I guess that's kind of a stupid statement to say, or explosive, right? So we have the fast mid-execute Cloud9 likes to do, and then they have the really slow, drawn-out methodical play. But 4 towards A, if I were to guess, it was either going to be another mid-explode, where they throw a top connector smoke from deep over the roof, or it's going to be an A-hall take followed by a simple A hit with 1 drop. So let's see what they decide to do. Looks like the latter.
A quick push into long here with 2 or 3 players. Nifty getting pushed away too. T-Smoke is going to block off the pathway, but actually look at this from Stewie lurking all the way out. Azur is waiting for this, however, but he checks it, checks that corner, so Stewie's going to be able to get that kill. I thought for sure Azur would have been aware of that, but no, doesn't notice him crawling out of the smoke there. Even worse, JKS getting lit up for half of his HP, trying to cross back out into the site, so this is not going well for the Renegades at this point. Cloud9, though, also shifting up their own perspective. They still got those 2 players in the B halls. It looked for a second like the bomb was going to join them, but it's kind of at an in-between point currently.
So a tough kill going down as Azur must have been not looking at a screen, but you're still going to get a big frag on Tim. Tim getting caught unlucky a bit there, as I'm sure he did not mean to die there. Was just trying to use his utility to make a presence. But now we're at B. Tyler, the last line of defense there, but hard for him to fake with only a flash and an AWP in hand. Can't really take too many fights, but he's going to try to make a little distraction against Ustillo. And right as that happens, their team at A is going to come out A hall, but they're going to run into the stack. So it's not going to matter.
Nifty will be here, but however, he's only able to crush that 1 kill. JKS, though, perfect position. If he can stay here and drop the bomb, and Trents for the spray gets the double kill. Now Cbble has to make a mad run. JKS is just going to back up and go into a safe position. Gets out in time.
Butt cheek clench. They can't plant the bomb.
And the timer will run out, which is going to give the round to the Renegades on the timer and puts them up to 15 rounds. Just 1 more to go, and they'll have this map under their control.
Great patience by JKS there not to shoot right when he has opportunity. Safe to say, I think a lot of pro players have done that, but it's still credit to him to not shoot right away. C9's going to do a pause, I heard. And Launders came to say hello. Hi, Launders. He's just walking by. And 15-8 here. Now, actually, I think both teams played that round pretty smart. You know, early on, Renegades fell back nice. They got the trades. Azur got caught off guard, and they still kind of like played it well towards A. C9 did a good job, even though Tim died. He obviously didn't mean to die. They did a good job waiting for Cbble to make presence towards B. But I think, you know, in that situation, I don't know how much time was left when Cbble got that pick. But I really like the idea of walking out A hall right there, because if he gets that kill A and they're not positive on their rotate, either 2 things are going to happen. They're going to rotate or they're not. And if you walk out, I think that's a win-win in both those scenarios. So C9 might have had a read that I don't know of. But either way, 15-8 here. Going to match point.
At the very least, Cloud9 do carry in with a full buy, however, because of the streak that they've been working on. Renegades, because they only win that with 1 pull. Snap flashes over the top and then just directly peeks it. Full confidence that the flash had worked and destroys Cbble. Very well done. And what a way to start off what could be the last round of the map.
I guess that works, huh? I mean, he just seemed like he ice skated up that ledge and just knocked Tyler's head off. That's unfortunate there for Cbble.
It's like a super wide peak, too. Just goes way out into the open.
Yeah, I mean, what can Tyler do there, right? And Automatic getting a good kill blind versus AZR from the pop flash. I really hate doing what AZR just did. That happens to me so much. So easy for the guy in drop to get a kill.
Stewie with another 1-2 here against Ustillo. And that actually, I think, drops all the rifles. Stewie just going to continue the rampage down onto the site, instantly deleting JKS. And while it was a great start from Nav, unfortunately, the follow-through was pretty poor. And now it just leaves Nifty alone in a 1v4 situation, with Cloud9 trading out this 1-round win from the Renegades, resetting their own losing bonus, and putting Cloud9 up to a 9th round, of course, here, unless Nifty could do something amazing here.
doesn't really need to do much except try to get a gun to leave with. Really. Oh no, you're gonna.
He's gonna attempt it.
Yeah, he's not gonna live. Tarek's too aware.
And there we go. Tarek shuts it down easily with the op in hand, and that will secure the round for Cloud9. Now, Tarek left. Obviously, it's a very different story, but they're smarter than that. They kept a player in the site to watch for that, and without him checking anything out there, that does make it pretty easy to close out on the last player from the CT side.
Big double kill by Stewie. Very good at getting those kind of shots. He's thrives when the pace is up. And, you know, despite that first pick by Naf, they're going to now be forced into a double save.
Yeah, so just Deagle 5-7 on Naf, and then just default pistols for the rest of the team this round. They do decide to gamble stack over towards A with a 4-man setup there at A long, and only 1 in B. Cloud9 have usually been going for B hits here, but obviously since it is an eco round, they're going to be playing much, much slower, and might, as a result of this, actually end up shifting towards A, especially if Nifty can put up some good presence. However, with him playing as far back as he is, that is probably not going to happen, so it just comes down to which choice Cloud9 decide to make here.
I could easily see this coming to 15-15 for... you know, a couple reasons. One, C9 has the experience and the skill, but two, Cbble is just can be so T-sided when you have, you know, nothing left to lose. Like that we haven't seen it in this situation, and when you have a CT team who kind of seems on their back foot a little bit, meaning that Renegades knows they need to close it out, and they kind of just go to that mindset where it's like, okay, do what we normally do, don't do anything different. But the thing is it's so easy for a team like Cloud9 to just take map control and methodically eliminate you that, you know, I hope Renegades doesn't play too scared and default the rest of the half. They should keep taking their upper B control and, you know, staying confident that each site is going to hold their own.
Rush is going to get pushed back here a little bit now as Renegades do just essentially take exit positions here. Since they know Cloud9 have full control over the site, they're going to try to overwhelm Rush, but just going in 1 by 1 makes it easy for Rush to multi-frag, knocking up both JKS and Naf, and yeah, it's just systematically shutting down these remaining CTs, as there probably won't see much action over here towards A unless they specifically decide to exit in that direction, so Cloud9 will get out of here pretty much scot-free. And we'll go up into double digits themselves. Just 5 away from tying this up now, though, but they can't lose a single round along the way. Otherwise, the map goes to the Renegades.
That's a good observation there, Ian.
Yeah. Just keeping the new folks at home.
Yeah, I appreciate that. For all of you guys who are new to the game, tweet us at ESL CS and let us know how many hours you have actually in CSGO. It's fun to kind of see that.
Yeah, we can see this cleanup. This all happens after we see them getting full control, of course. So it's just their attempt to try and get at least a few kills against Cloud9, but it does not work out. And as we see, Rush controls the situation very, very well. Going into this next one, I believe we're still on a save for the Renegades. Yeah, so it's just going to be P250 and CZ upgrades again. No, Nifty not buying anything at all as he's looking for that op. And they do that same exact gamble stack, so it's all going to be on Nifty again to try and hold off against a full 5-man platform push on B.
C9 here knowing that Renegades is broke, just taking the brute force approach here. There's a chance that Renegades could have bought if they really wanted to, which is why you'll see Cloud9 throwing this many smokes. Any round where Cloud9 knows that Renegades do not have any utility or armor, they probably won't throw this many smokes. So that's what led me to believe that. Jeez, there's no way.
No, it's down to Naf now, and he's stuck in statue too. And the drop player should be able to push him. There we go. Stewie takes him down. But for what that round was, considering it was just a bunch of $250 and $300 or $500 pistols, that's still a pretty good round for them, knocking out 3 out of 5 at least.
Super solid to get those 3 kills. At this point, it might not matter too much. C9 has the money to buy for the next couple rounds, probably till the finish of this game. But you never know. If C9 wins a couple close 1v1s, that could come into factor in the final round. So it doesn't hurt to get kills, that's for sure.
We do have Renegades going back up to a double op setup, however, so they have a very strong precedent established here. They're not going to use that op. Normally we see one of these ops going over here towards A long to play solo, but actually both of them are going to be in B this time. So they have full op presence established here. Nifty's going to be obviously the much more aggressive one, playing up here onto the up onto the balcony. And the second one for Naf is going to be more in a rotate position at door, able to head towards A if he needs the assistance. And since they don't see anything at B initially, no quick play or anything like that, they do have him rotate over towards Heaven in A, which actually might be a bit of an overcompensation, especially now with Azur going down, spotting 2 at drop. That doesn't really give them a whole lot of intel just yet. It is looking like another split right now from Cloud9, but it could go either way still, so we'll hold our judgment until we see a commitment from Cloud9. It does appear as though Stewie is going to move into the connector here to start trying to figure out what the setup is looking like here at A-Long. Cloud9, though, still taking their time and actually move a whole lot of players into the B halls, so it was originally looking like an A split. It may now just turn itself into more of a standard B style play, and especially with Stewie getting just knocked out there at the edge of A-Long, too, that's certainly not going to help their case. The one saving grace they have is at the moment there's only one player sitting on B to defend it, but that is very quickly going to change. Cloud9 will need to execute very soon, or they'll lose that advantage. As we can see, the rotates coming back around the pillar and the site connector now. Nifty spots the first player coming back out, but he does leave himself slightly in the open there, so Tarek is going to have enough of an angle to take him down through the box. But now we see Tarek just shift walking through a molly there.
I don't get it. Great trade there by Tarek on the B plat, but now peeking through a Molotov, and it's going to put C9 in a 3 versus 1, which is easily, I think, have been avoided if they had a little bit more patience.
Time as well, running out quickly, and we are going to see Ustilo pushing out from Cat to close it down. So it is going to be the Renegades that take control here in our final map of the day. And with that, they are going to be able to take a 2-0 for the evening. Or excuse me, no, they'll trade 1-1 for the evening as Renegades take it.
Which is interesting, as the analyst, when I was over there earlier, we were talking about their records actually not going to, or their positions aren't going to change much because they were both one game different.
So they'll stay the same. So that's interesting for like if we get into the postseason and they remain tied, because tiebreakers are settled based on these results. Yeah, based on the head-to-head results.
Yeah. So, interesting enough, and we did see Renegades in the end take it down. So we are going to throw to analysts, right, Blue?
Yeah, so let's bring them into the picture now and have them close out the night. Gentlemen, what do you make of that final map?
You know, there's a lot we can make of that. And moreover, we're going to get off that 2-box so I can say things freely about Jordan.
Speak your mind.
We're not going to do that. Nah, don't.
It's kind of like the way you're wearing a kilt right now. You're feeling free.
Currently taking off his shirt.
Yeah, something about the stench. I don't know. Anyway, I was just trying to say, I think cartwheels are cool. Honestly, if you can do a cartwheel, I'm impressed.
I think rainbows are cool.
That's cool. Can you do a rainbow?
Wait, what?
I just want to prove that my shirt was still on.
Yes, that's your shirt.
It's actually a tearaway.
He's saying that he wants to prove that his shirt is still on, folks. I don't know if you can hear him. His voice does project. He's having the time of his life right now.
You just got your breast cupped.
Anyway, Jordan's going to go continue doing cartwheels and practicing that on his own time. That's fine. We'll be there to support him morally and physically in a second.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit him with the...
No. All right. So
I didn't know you actually could do that.
There was a Counter-Strike match that happened, and I don't want to dive into it too quickly. But in case, if you guys are ready for it, it's up to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. We saw some good strategies. I want to talk about a few of them.
Okay, well, let's start off by saying, yes, they split maps. Yes, they stay tied in points. And go ahead.
So there was a running long B exec, right? So that's the first one. I think we're going to go over round 13. And we're going to try and, not laugh at Jordan because he is very funny. But this is round 13. And Renegades do the running long B exec, and I'm going to hand it off to Launders here.
Yeah, and so this is a round where Renegades like to throw this in. They pepper it into their regular defaults and heavy executes. And obviously, they're jumping through. Rush gets that first trade, but the smoke landing inside a broken wall makes for a weird exchange as someone coming up path has to kind of spray blindly through the smoke. But after this, they can kind of settle in. Ustilo obviously refreshing that path smoke and holding on to make sure that nobody peeks or makes any noise.
I think that path smoke that Tarek died next to was his own, right? Because when you're a CT and you're the sidewalk player, I think you underhand that smoke right there to give yourself some more cover, right? Who knows, though, right? I didn't see it from that perspective. Ustilo getting 2 kills with 6 HP there. Definitely not something to bank on. That round could have gone either way. We're going to jump right into the next one. Trace, what do we have on the docket?
Is that what you want? You want the next round? Are you ready for the next round?
Yeah, I'm so stoked, man.
Second pistol. Let's load it up right now. Cats and dogs living together. Mass pandemonium in the streets.
Yeah, so if one were to look at whether or not Cloud9 goes A or B more often, they definitely go A more often on their T pistol here. JKS hits a nice headshot, moved down to 2 health, but he stays alive. Nifty pushed close A hall, so he heard them running through mid, and he just flanked them behind. So they know where all of C9 is, right? Because they have one flanking from B, so they're completely corralled here. And what I love most about this round is not the shots from the beginning, but the way they play this 2v5 with 2 of their teammates on, a sum of 5 health. it could have been very easy for this to get out of hand had they just run out the door, right? I've seen that so many times where it's against Glocks, right? Which can just Glocks, right? Like they just shoot and everyone dies. You won't lose the 2v5. Everyone's sighs in their mic. They're holding their mic buttons down to sigh. And it's like, oh man, I want to tell you how sad I am that we all lost that round. It's like
matchmaking.
Yeah, it's like, great, man. Thank you for sighing in your mic. It's really annoying there. So Renegades playing it very smart, not sighing in their mics to each other.
And that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
That we're aware of.
I mean, they won the round,
really
so why would they do that?
Well, you know, sometimes when you win, you lose at the same time. It's weird.
Well, I mean, maybe for you, but, you know.
No. Always winning. Always. And with that being said, we can load up our next replay right now because I do believe it's ready for you. That's right. We're going to round 23. JKS doing all kind of cool stuff over here on the boost.
So they kill 2 people at A, and they think, all right, we've killed 2 of the 3 people left. There's probably one, either a rotator or he's at the very best at B or something. And here's JKS with the patience, notices the time ticking down, and realizes they're not going to clear him after the first guy avoids it. So from here, just realizes he's got to get out of the way, knows that his teammate died to Skadoodle on the other side of the map, and that's it. Plays the time perfectly. Clutch moment. I mean, without that round, it potentially could have been tied.
Could have gone to overtime like yesterday.
Yeah.
We had, what, 2 overtimes yesterday? I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see one today.
Yeah, it's like almost 4 full maps, like 50 rounds in total.
Well, the next replay we're going to load up actually comes from a young man from the city of San Diego. We're going to load that up real quick. If you look at it and just take a quick look, there it is right there. That
you see how you commanded him to do that?
And you know what you really got to come in here is the form and like how is he able to just really transpire that sort of movement, one fluid motion?
Well, he's been thick movement since 1.6.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of it could be based off of that sort of say. Let's run it back one more time and take a look here at what we're looking at with nothing. You see right now, if we can freeze frame it right here, freeze frame. Nope, can't do it. Anyway, you got to look at it. You got to say, this guy, he's got momentum. He's got the speed.
400 millisecond reaction time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me? Are you talking to me? Like I turned my head like
But you know what? In case you didn't see either of those ran back, you can head over to youtube.com/ESLCS. That's right. And you can watch that man do a cartwheel all in your own time.
Where is it again?
ESLCS YouTube.
YouTube.com/ESLCS.
Yeah. Sounds good. It's music to my ears almost at this point. I think about it while I'm
think those are the voices. I don't know if that's music. It's all good though.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, guys, we had a great day of matches here. Things are starting to shape up. We can take a look now at a recap here of what actually transpired when we look back at today's matches. That's right. You're going to look over here. You said there were no OTs today, but there was one OT.
Yeah, you have to do that thing, right? Where whenever you can prove me wrong, you do that.
Absolutely.
That's a good friend.
I just thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. I think we went to OT today. I'm pretty sure we went to OT today, but we did.
All right, I was wrong. That's great. Let's move on.
No, you're wrong. It's fine. It happens. More importantly, looking over at the B stream, you're going to see a 22-19 score there. Complexity over Energy.
Ooh, that must have been fun to watch.
That was because Rico got banned, right? So he didn't get to play today?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's because he got banned, but I don't know. He didn't get to play today. Complexity won. Yeah, so whatever, right? So that was an interesting match. NRG, that might actually cost them their playoff hopes. They're going 0-2 against a team that they, on paper, should probably beat.
Interestingly enough, you know how we can find that out?
Taking a look at the standings.
Oh my God, you are exactly right. Let's look at it right there. You say it, and I shall deem it to happen. That's right, SK Optic, Liquid, CLG, Energy, Misfits in the top 6, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah, I think the time is working against Cloud9 and Renegades, right? So it's time to pony up and getting in that top 6.
I mean, the obvious factor here is A, you have to stop splitting maps. But then on top of that, you got to look at it and say, like, look, guys, we don't want to be in that situation later on in the season when it comes down to, oh, well, Energy dropped a map here, Liquid lost a map, so we got a berth to the LAN.
Yeah,
that's not.
You don't want somebody else to have to do something for you to get in. You want it to be on your own volition.
Your fate in your hands rather than whatever.
So
else
just rush B.
Yeah, just rush B. Yeah. Let's take a look at the EU standings though, because over there they're also doing something cool, something like we're doing over here. Looking at Fnatic, they're still sitting up at the very top, and at the rate they're going, you know.
Yeah, it's sick that Fnatic are still the best team in the world.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Na'Vi going dead last. I think they're picking up Electronic, right? That's what I heard on the waiver wire.
Yeah, I think it's about to get pretty
I wonder how Simple and Electronic are going to get along, because they kind of are like the same thing, but of like different years, right? Because Simple was on flip side in the past, you know, just like kind of festering and not really doing anything and just wasting away.
You really kind of got to look at the foundation and think about, you know, the bolted on feel or felt of what's going on around there, right? So either way, you know, that's...
You say both Sasuke? What?
It's another time. Anyway, you know what you can do right now is head over to proleague.com and get involved in the fan vote for the PaySafe card. That's right. I'm encouraging you to do the right thing, which is that. And you know what? I don't think there's much else to be said.
Not voting doesn't count
PaySafe,
in this circumstance.
Paysafe.com/fan
vote.
Yep. All right, sweet.
Yep.
Outstanding, guys. But, you know, more importantly than that, it's always about the membranes. You know a few new things about membranes, right? Let's membranes.
Oh, yeah.
But let's actually talk about the heart, soul, and more importantly, the cores of an Intel processor.
Ooh.
That's right. Head over to Intel.com, grab a processor, because these bad boys are flying. They're flying it in there. Am I right, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just like landing it very carefully with their hands.
Yeah, because you don't want to end up like Blue and bending every pin on your entire motherboard. Somehow, some way, we live in a world where that can happen, when you could just go to Fry's, give them $50, they can do it for you. Either way,
that's what I did.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's matches, because we've got one more day of Pro League set to take place here. I do believe it's going to be day number 21, and hopefully we fly them in. Yes, we do. Optic Gaming, CLG, Immortals, Liquid for us tomorrow.
Immortals, huh? I'm glad we get to really just watch them play some good Counter-Strike again and get to enjoy that.
Meanwhile, you've got Cloud9 and Complexity and SK and Rogue over on the secondary stream. So, you know what, Launders, I'm going to ask you right now, which of these matches is the one for you? Which one was the one for you?
I haven't seen Optic play in a while, so I want to watch them play again.
And see how it is post maybe all this traveling and all the, other stuff they got going on.
And I will be watching it from the plane.
That is a huge match, actually, for CLG, right? Because CLG has played less matches than other teams, and they're still within the top 6, right? So they're playing Optic. And this is a massive match. So I think that first match, I'm going to agree with you there, Launders. Optic, CLG, banging in there. Maps 1 and 2 tomorrow. Come see it. I'm gonna have like 4 shots of espresso during each match. So I'm gonna have 16 shots of espresso. Yeah, I've had 0 today. Come at me.
Yeah, I think for the first time in history, a man has cartwheeled across the set of an esports production. So there's Jordan holding another record. It's not always about the headshots with this guy. He does little acrobatics on his own in his free time. But we won't get into that. What we will get into is that you won't be here with us tomorrow. The Bears will be here with us in place of you, Launders. Launders, I'm going to let you explain to the people where it is that you're going to be.
DreamHack Denver.
All right. Outstanding. I'm glad we could go ahead and break that one down. And before I break down mentally and physically here at the desk, we're going to go ahead and sign off from the Intel Esports Arena. That does it. The Xfinity Analyst Desk is closed for the day. We'll see you tomorrow.